man.
What you be wanting, dog?
I'll just be wondering what you be gotten for us, dog.
We got a few topics.
Yeah?
And I got a cool story time.
Is this the one that you wanted to tell with a certain individual?
Yeah, you even brushed up on the facts.
All right.
You want a story time first? You guys want to go into some topics?
Well, first I would like to go ahead and start with, I want to start a new thing. Even though there was one thing that I wanted to do was I would give a law, an infringement law each time, but I haven't been doing that. I completely forgot. So I think an easier thing would be instead of studying for each law, I would just give a word a week, 1 word a week. And it was a word that I've already told you, but this word of the week is called nihilism.
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
All right, so
domestic violence would take place.
That's violence inside the home.
So this word,
Really?
nihilism.
Dude, have you ever heard of this?
You ever heard of this word?
No.
Sex.
It's it gets you thinking, dude. Like they created a word for this. You know what I mean? It's
Actually, I
called.
do think I've heard this before.
Then what is it?
I don't remember. I've heard
All right.
this.
Well, that was very. That helped the conversation.
Thanks a
Yeah, I
lot.
think I've heard of this,
Thanks a lot.
but I
man.
haven't. So just go ahead and explain it.
I'm really glad you.
Well, hey,
informed
if
us.
I remembered, I remember
Okay.
the word.
Well, do you
You're
guys
making-
want to
you're
fucking
making-
know the damn word? or what?
Maybe.
He's making Team Blue look bad over here.
All right. So it just means the rejection of all religious and moral principles in the belief that life is meaningless.
So is that what cynicals are?
Cynicism is pretty similar. There's actually.
I think cynicism. I think if you're cynical, you're just a little bit more of a douche.
Well, cynicism is actually an inclination to believe that people are motivated purely by self-interest.
They're both assholes. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all dick. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine like.
I could imagine being.
I can
around
honestly
somebody
say though, of the people I've met in my life, I've never actually met one that is like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thank God, because I just think that person would be an empty vessel to be around.
Most people are.
But yeah, that's the word of the day, and just to think about like the fact that they created a word for people like that. It just
I think
Just goes
people
to
have a
show-
lot of time
time for what?
to just do whatever. So, I mean, they're going to come up with words for everything. I'm sure you can find words for... That's what you need to start doing, is finding, like, the most obscure and, like,
Chuggy,
random words.
cringy,
Those
Riz,
words are awesome. Fuck off.
skibbity toilet.
Rhythm, gas,
Chuggy.
some main
But
character.
Like, they just have the most random meaning for
Wig.
just anything. But it's like...
I think
it's-
wig probably originated in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure 103rd Street came up with that one all by itself. Let's chop a dance.
Chopper, dude, that dude was on the news the other day. That dude who got. Julio
Julio
Fulio.
Fulio. The one
I've
that
never
got
heard of this
Coolio.
guy a day in my life.
Wait, chop a dance? He died?
No. The feature he did with Julio Fulio.
Oh,
The Chopper Dance, the
black
song,
guy.
the black guy in the video, he got.
this
Yeah.
a SOT. This
Dude.
a Hellcat. I got the red.
I was in Tampa the day after the shooting, and we were staying at a Hilton Inn. And I was like, no fucking way we're staying at the same one. And then we were in St. Petersburg, and I was like, yeah, we're right down the road from
You
it.
know what's
But
weird
no,
is that he
it's
knew who Julio Fulio was.
Yeah, it's
He's
all-
got a picture of his dead body on his phone.
Yeah, his blown up head.
Oh, let me see that one. Let's see.
Like,
No problem.
Yeah, it happened at his
for
damn
anybody
birthday.
watching, I've never heard of this guy, but we just so happen to know a guy who grew up with him, and he's the one who introduced us to his music video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's very cringy.
Yeah, it was I think it was his 20th birthday.
Was
Yeah.
that a slug that hit him?
No
man,
idea.
It had to just been 9 millimeters.
I don't know though.
Just 9 millimeters from a Glock.
Yeah, Glock
9
17.
millimeter don't erase 80% of your face.
Yeah.
I couldn't even make out the picture.
Lip, nose, left eye.
Yeah, they probably shot him while he was down.
That's got to be an exit wound from a very detrimental large caliber.
I think it was just
Would
a
that
lot
be
of
an
9
exit wound
millimeters.
though?
Yeah.
Was that an exit wound though?
Yeah, all the flesh is
Or
splattered
would that
outwards.
be where he got?
No, it would be. There's entrance wounds are always smaller than your exits, and if that's an entrance wound, that was a shotgun. That was a slug.
I don't know, man, because you do have overpressure, so overpressure can split skulls and shit.
It ain't filleting your flesh outwards
What
like
about
that on the front.
what about a hollow point or something like that?
Hollow points go in solid and they fragmentate after impact, so your exit wound would be even bigger.
I think it was just a bunch of 9 millimeters from a Glock
I don't think they're
wearing a
hitting him
bunch of
that many-
shiesties.
I don't think they hit him that many times in the face, but there's some interesting.
I don't know.
What I think happened
if
is that
you-
they probably just shot him while he was down.
Did you see the car?
Just kept shooting him.
Yeah.
Did you see
'Cause
how
it-
many rounds went into the car?
Yeah, there's a
That was
well, the thing is, it happened at his fucking, I think it was 21st birthday party.
so he
And he
Fuck
let
you,
everybody
man.
know it. And just like the previous year before that, he had another assassination attempt.
yeah, they shot him in the foot and everybody was making a big deal about it.
Yeah. Like,
But
people
he
have
was
been after this
celebrating
dude.
his birthday at an Airbnb, and I guess they got too loud and they had too many people. So the people that own the Airbnb
Oh, yeah.
had the cops come and kick him out.
Well, yeah,
So
because
they
it
went
explicitly
to-
says in every single Airbnb that you can't have a party with multiple people.
They went to a Hilton Garden Hotel across from
All
the
right, calm
University
down.
of Central
Calm down,
Florida.
you're shaking, dude.
Okay, but it's so stupid where they did this shooting. It's you have a school campus here, and then the headquarters for FHP is on the other side of this road, and then the hotel's right here. They got caught. Tell me why.
Yeah, they
I
said
wonder
that.
fucking
That's
why.
how they were on the news the other day because they said that they were too dangerous to be left out on bail or some stupid. A bunch of fucking wannabe gangsters.
Yeah, you did it next to the FHP
Well, I guess they're not
headquarters in a
wannabe, I
fucking
guess they're
school.
actually
No, they're thugs. That's what it is. Or criminals. They like the word thug, so I won't call them thugs.
I don't give them that
Yeah,
satisfaction.
they're criminals.
Yeah. Like I said, if you're gonna live like that, don't get mad when it inevitably happens to you.
He's just another face on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
His mama will be claiming the rights to any of his songs for a long while.
ahead of him.
He didn't.
Does he actually have music?
I don't know, probably.
Nothing you've heard of,
He's got a lot.
or the rest of us.
Well, I mean,
I've heard a little
quantity
bit of his
doesn't.
music.
Well, it's
He's
just
not-
the only reason we know about these people is because we went to school with like Young and Ace.
Well,
stuff
his
like
brother
that.
went to school with us, but I'm pretty sure
Well,
they
he
both
the
dropped
one
out
that died.
before.
The one that was shot in the face.
he got shot on Beach Boulevard.
Yeah, the Young and Ace dude. They were both sitting in a car. Then some people rolled up and just blew his brother's face out in front of him.
He
This is the first time in my
Wasn't he-
life I've actually felt like a boomer.
he was in. They
I didn't
were
know
on
we
Beach
were actually
Boulevard.
knew somebody.
Actually, they were celebrating Ace's birthday too that night.
What was his real name? Charles? Or what? Let's just
Something
call them by
like
their
that.
real names.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh man, I can't remember his
Like
brother. Oh my god,
let's see.
starts with a T. I'm pretty sure.
Terrence.
Like Taven or Traven. Oh my god.
Trayvon.
Trey.
Martin.
It's not Trey.
Trey.
Where you at, Heck?
You can go like this.
I'm gonna steal you and your snow bunny, you dig?
Grab your swole.
Can y'all?
Hey, man, if you're going to talk and text,
Can-
can you leave the
Keonta.
microphone?
It's Keonta.
Okay.
Tyrone Bullard.
Okay, just stick with those. I regret.
Wouldn't you take him serious at a gas station?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very intimidating individual.
That's the dude that got.
No, that's the one that lived. I'm not gonna bother with the Young and Ace's brother shootout thing. Oh yeah, Jaquad
I'm just trying to
Jaquavion
remember his name.
Tavius Vontavious the third.
yeah, Jaquavion Tavius Fontatious Fallacious II has been gunned down in cold blood by Didion Leon.
I'm gonna let you say this name.
He was on the road to be a doctor.
He's gonna be a
gonna be
fine
a
individual.
I like.
How about you stop touching it at the same time?
I so regret bringing this up.
Yeah, what are you guys looking at?
Dude, I don't give a fuck about these people.
All right, so there's Trayvon Bullock,
That dude.
of Orange Park, Jacoby Groover, and then Royale Devon Smith.
Those were his two friends, and Trayvon was his brother, and he was the one driving. Ace was in the passenger seat, and they pulled up and started shooting. And the only thing that saved Ace was he tried to jump over his brother and push him out the door and save him, and he ended up getting shot in the butt. And that's what saved him, is he didn't get hit in any major.
I just think it's funny that between all three of their names, it sounds like there's every single letter in the alphabet.
Yeah. There's way too many special characters in there. Yeah. Like, if you can't use your first name as a password, then...
When somebody has to Google a fictitious name to find out who you are, that's crazy.
It's dumb, especially because over where we are, there was a car that our city's department seized. It's just riddled with bullet holes, and apparently there were 3 people that were shot up in it. One was shot in the face. Two were shot in the leg, and the victims were all 15 and 16 years old, and the shooters were 14 to 16 years old.
Like, why?
There were like 12 people involved in it.
Yeah,
arguing
let's
over
not-
Pokemon.
Let's not fight so we can see tomorrow and just get it over with.
No, they
with
were all
fists.
you realize most of them were in middle school and high school, right?
Let's just
They were
shoot
all
each other so
between
no
8th
one
grade
can
and
get
10th
up.
grade.
Yeah, not one of them had a driver's license.
Yeah, they were all between 8th. The shooter was 14.
I don't
Hey,
get
speaking
it.
of death, South Carolina, the Supreme Court of South Carolina just agreed that the state has privileges to expand their death sentences, the way they conduct their death sentences, other than just gas and electric chair.
Oh, like we can go back to lynching?
You can go to lynching. You can
Fuck yeah, dude.
fire
It's fucking
squad.
sweet.
Is it public?
And here's my thing: the death penalty is the death penalty. Who cares how they do it?
Dude,
Me. I would
care.
think it'd be totally cool to have them like
That's what I'm
strung
saying.
up between 2 posts like this,
But that's what I'm
and then
saying.
they just drive a semi at them.
Bro,
Like, dude,
if you don't,
extra. Oh, y'all extra.
put his hands and feet on 2 separate horses, right opposite way, onward.
here's the thing though: if you don't want to die like that, and you don't want to be strung up, and you don't want to do all that, don't earn the fucking death penalty.
I don't know.
That's
I
simple.
feel like the people who get convicted and are given the death penalty, there's people that have only killed one person in a pretty decent, gruesome way, and then he gets a death penalty. Then there's some people who's a serial killer that has killed 12 fucking people in sadistic ways with
But
a
they get
traditional
off.
mark, but they just get life in prison without parole.
But that's because they give up bodies and stuff
I
Yeah,
don't know,
they
like-
actually incriminate themselves more, and
to
then
get off the death penalty.
They incriminate themselves more, and then now they get to live. I don't. So yeah, no,
like
I
if you
buried
hit
this. I
200,
buried
you'll-
this one's head over here.
yeah.
so let's go around the circle. Do you believe in the death penalty?
I will be different than a lot of you.
Just,
Then probably
just
all of you.
well,
No.
Just
let's
answer the question.
Let's just answer the question first. So no.
I personally don't.
What about you?
No,
You don't believe in the death penalty?
I was not expecting it.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it
would-
depends.
no, it's a yes.
I
or
just
no.
think it depends.
It doesn't work. Yes or no?
Well, so that means you have to think it's yes then.
I do then, because I think in certain
let's give it- let's give
circumstances,
it an answer
just
while
get
I'm
out
Just
of
get a
that way.
consensus right now.
Just,
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I also think so. I also believe in the death penalty.
An interesting 50-50.
Yeah.
Ironic, we're all on the
Yeah.
same side of the table.
So let's start with you, Father. What is
You want the
Your reason for
synopsis version, or you want the reason, like a detailed reason why I don't?
Let's just go for a detailed reason because we can go back and forth on it.
So I watched you guys have heard this. I don't think you have though. I watched a trial that was in Texas. I think it's in Huntsville or something shit like that. The death row is in the middle of this town. It's like there's a Starbucks across the street. You know what I'm saying? And it's called like Death Row Coffee or some shit. Like it's
Hell
a
yeah.
town based around this fucking prison. I think it's Huntsman or Huntsville or some shit. And there was this dude. It was a piece of shit, and he murdered somebody not a long time ago, probably way back. But
Better off without him.
Huntsville before.
you have to speak in that.
I didn't want it.
Oh.
To
No,
interrupt
no.
you.
The only thing that does, Max, is just make it sound like shit.
It makes me look like
Yeah.
I'm just speaking to an imaginary friend.
We're doing a lot of sideballing right now.
But it comes time for this inmate for his it's now his day, you know. And so when you get put to death, there's witnesses that witness your execution, and so you have the inmate's family coming in, and the look on this group of people when they're walking in is just very surreal, somber, because they're about to go watch their loved one be killed, you know?
Yeah.
And some would say rightfully so. And I wouldn't argue that, actually, eye for an eye. I can't really argue that. And then it showed the victim's family coming in because they're going to watch the dude get clacked off too. And they are very, very emotional, extremely emotional because they've gone all this time in their minds without justice, you know, and they're crying and they're about to go look at the man who took their child, you know. And so they all go in there and the dude gets turned off and the families come out and the inmate's family looked just like the victim's family did when they were going in. And the victim's family looked just like the inmate's family when they went in. And that's when it dawned on me is that dude is gone. He's dead. The victim he's gone. He's dead. The only real victims in this are the ones that survive. The families are the victims. So essentially, although some may say justified, that sorrow and pain that you felt, you basically are wishing that on someone else. So when I seen that, it didn't look like justice. It looked like revenge. And I think there's a clear distinction between the two.
There's an old Egyptian slang like back for ancient times that they believed in, where the term eye for an eye comes from is the Code of Hammurabi. And there's an ancient way of saying it that the reason why they didn't penance the same punishment on the other is because an eye for an eye, the whole world would go blind. And the saying behind it is,
That's deep right there.
so,
dude.
say if this person kills this person, somebody that knew this person will want to kill that person. You kill that person, this person that killed this person. It's just a giant chain link
Never-ending
effect
chain.
where
It's like the Crips and Blood.
yeah, if it's an eye for an eye, the whole world goes blind. And as
It's
much
the
as
young and Ace and
honestly,
Folio.
and as much as I believe that, you know, sometimes motherfuckers just need to die. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think whenever it comes to people, I do not believe we are the bearers that deserve to determine if a life is forfeit or not. As much as like I talk shit and I'm aggressive towards it because it's mildly entertaining for my own satisfaction, and it's just I don't believe any problems are solved. I don't believe anybody truly gets justice because, to me, say with that case is that the victim's family, they were distraught from the moment they got the news up until that day. And let's say that whole process was a year. And then now the inmate's family, they from that day forth, well, actually from the day that their family member was incarcerated, their lives declined. And from the day of execution until the end of their time, they are the victims. So these people grieved for the moment of death till that part, and they get some type of satisfaction watching that man die. but the other family is going to be suffering from the time that person's incarcerated till their death, until the end of their life, because they had to watch their own family member die. And to me, I just don't think that any true justice is served, because the only thing you're doing is making a victim as well as a witness from the day of execution till the end of their time. I don't think anything's justified. I think this person being buried in a concrete box basically till the end of their days, I think, is enough penance for it. I mean, yes, it's unfortunate that somebody who is innocent in some way can no longer be here, and it's unfair to some that one is now alive and drawing breath that taxpayers have to feed and shit like that. Yes, it's not exactly justice, but I mean, I don't think killing them does any better. So
I think life as they know it is over. Now
Yeah.
they have a new life.
whenever stuff like that happens, to me, two people die on the same day. One in a more literal sense, and then one gets a more figurative sense. But
Yeah.
my values of what life is and what the meaning of it is not exactly being locked in a concrete box, never seeing the sun again.
Yeah, dude, I can't even sit in my house for a day.
It's, to me, that's not life. To me, his life ended the same day.
I agree. That's a very strong statement.
So, I mean, but some people do deserve to die. It's only because they're shitbags. But I'm not.
But people also break out.
I don't know if they deserve
I-
it, but they definitely had it coming to them.
I'm not the executioner. I'm not the bringer of justice, or I cannot weigh one's soul next to a feather. I'm not.
Now, that
I'm not
being said,
person.
though, I will say that if somebody fucked up my family, I believe in a death sentence, but not through the government. I'm going to kill the fuck out of you.
Yeah, that's
I'm
more
going to kill
like,
everything you've ever touched.
Yeah, see, whenever it comes to that, like, sure, but
But I'll be honest, I'm not saying that's justice. I'm saying this is revenge.
That's my justice. That's my
There is no
justice.
justice here. This is you gone.
Well, justice.
yeah, I don't believe in the death sentence, but if you do kill my family, I will sentence you to death.
Do you know what the definition of just is?
I think it's of equal value.
It's based on or behaving It's based on or behaving according to what is morally right and fair.
Well, that's subjective as fuck.
Yeah. It's just a judgment.
That's up for society, I guess, to determine what's
Yeah.
truly just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of
All right, so that's our side. What about you guys? You
But-
fucking murderers.
You have to say
I think
it's not
if-
murder.
no, you're
if
supposed to do
you're-
the pops thing. It's what say you.
What say you?
I
Fucking
think
piece of
if
shit
you're going to
murderers.
take it upon yourself to make everyone involved the victim, you need to deal with your repercussions and your consequences of what you did. And if that's the death sentence because
Yeah,
you're
but who's dealing with it?
a piece of shit,
The people
you
that-
either
the
sit in
only
jail
people-
for the rest of your life. Okay, so what I mean by that one person, by their actions, brought all these other people and made them the victims, correct?
Yes.
I'm not, like I said, not every circumstance deserves the death sentence. I think it takes a certain circumstance, like, say you have a serial killer who goes out and is just, has no fucking morals, is just a wild animal. They will not stop killing until they are fucking killed.
A nihilist.
Yes, they go to prison. They're killing inmates. They're killing guards. They break out of prison. They're trying to kill. It's one of those situations, like Pablo Escobar. He wasn't so much a killer, but he
was a lot of a
brought
killer. He was a lot of killer.
death and destruction wherever he went. Correct.
He killed a lot of people.
Exactly. So someone like that is not gonna stop until. What are you doing? But someone like that's not going to stop until inevitably they die or they get killed. So I think someone that just kills fucking Mary Sue in her house because they broke in and had a situation, that
Should've
dude
gave her the
probably needs to
jewelry.
just sit in jail for the rest of life and sit there and think. Because that's the worst thing you can do to someone is make them fucking think for the rest of their life. Let him sit in his head. But
So you do agree that they're should be no death penalty then.
To a certain extent, I think it should be in very.
Oh, you were on the depends kind of.
yeah, where it's
That's right.
Like
it's
a
gotta
nihilist
be
should
a-
just be. He
someone
should
who's
not.
just not gonna be in society.
So you're saying that he should die not because of the crimes that he is going to commit,
Yes.
because of the reign
Because
that he
won't
will be
stop.
bringing.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I was very.
Putting your back on our watchers, dog.
I was intrigued by his conversation.
Mr. Pop, all y'all just learned Mr. Pops don't respect you.
Yeah, you don't respect y'all.
I was just extremely involved.
Okay,
in his
what
passion.
say you?
Definitely have to deal with your consequences.
Let's say you murderer.
So I do believe in an eye for an eye. Yeah, you could say that an eye for an eye, the whole world goes blind. But so your argument was that, let's say, dude kills other dude, that dude's dead. The people that know that dude want to go and kill that dude.
I say just do it.
That's where I'm at.
Go kill 'em.
I'm
I just don't believe in the death penalty.
the
For
the
a
thing is
group
that
of people who do not know you to just
I see
indiscriminately
it.
just decide you die.
I see it as a balance. Each side has to be weighed accordingly. You know, there has to be, you know, how they measured, you know, fruit back in the day for how much it's worth. You know, that's, you put that many coins in, balance it out, and that's what you get. And that's how I see it. And so
Essentially, though, it's all right. You got
anybody that kills that dude that committed the first murder, anybody else after that that goes and kills that dude that killed him, he's no longer in the justice realm of
in that
killing somebody.
And with that idea, though, you're essentially all right. So this guy sells fruit. This guy buys fruit. What you're arguing, though, is this person taking this guy's fruit, giving it to him, this person taking this person's money, giving it to him, and then they both throw it away. The only victims were is this guy don't have his fucking fruit anymore, and this guy doesn't have his money anymore, but these two fuckers benefited or don't have to suffer through it. You know?
See, I have a different like concept of it. Is that say somebody just, let's just say I kill somebody, and then if the natural flow of life was to be without any direct intervention from a separate person between apprehension and stuff like that, the whole trial and shit like that. To me, if it was that person's time to die, the natural effects of the world would have led something to bring me my demise. Mm-hmm. But if I have killed somebody, I have gotten away with it, I am eventually apprehended. To me, external human intervention isn't necessarily the fate that was determined by the will of the world. Obviously, this person is gone, I go on. But say if I do that, you see that shit, you hunt me down, and you take matters into your own hands. To me, that is the will of the world. And it's not for people to step in and decide the fate. So
Okay, so you're talking about the bureaucracy of it then.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I said
Handle
is
your
that
own
I,
business.
I don't believe in the death penalty.
But I also think
I think that if shit's going to take care of itself, it'll take care of itself. Because even what I said earlier is like, I don't believe in eye for an eye, but if you kill my family, I will be your death sentence.
Yeah.
But between if you get away, I can't find you, I can't get you, and just eventually somebody gets you, and then we do a whole process, and then I just have to watch you get taken out by some other force. Obviously,
Yeah. Well, so how I see it is the value thing, right? So if somebody has complete disregard for somebody's value of their life, they automatically, to me, thwart their own value. And so society needs to deem them they are not valuable enough to be kept into society because they don't value society. And so therefore they, just like a fucking tumor needs to be ripped out of society, cast it out like the fucking Australians, you know? That's my whole thing about it.
Okay, I never really viewed it as society. I've always viewed it as
I'm not looking at it as
inmates' family, victims' family. I figured the justice was between these people, not society. So I get your point there.
That's the only reason why I think that. It's at the end of the day, because we are all human, we are all nobody on this planet decided to be here. Nobody did. So we have to base our judgments off of each other's own value, because we are all of the same value, because we were all brought here with we didn't choose to.
You have to be held accountable.
We have to be held accountable because nobody chose to be here. And so if somebody isn't chose to be here, has disregard for everybody else, it is within everybody else's duty to also not care for that person to be here.
It's like the death penalty is not just there to kill people; it's also there to keep you from killing people. It's not that hard to not get the death penalty.
Yeah,
I've been alive for 25 years now and haven't got the death penalty yet.
I
killed like 8 people and I haven't gotten.
I don't necessarily agree.
It's not that hard to.
I just don't agree with the idea that it's not necessarily our job to take your life in order to prevent you from taking life.
It's not to prevent. It's straight up just your own dignity, your own value as a human being.
I'm mainly just responding to what he said, because what he said was that the death penalty is to prevent you from taking life. And I don't believe it's people's job.
When it comes to the bureaucracy, it's a little different for me, because I'm kind of on the fence about the death penalty, but I do believe in an eye for an eye.
Yeah, but you're just getting someone else to do what you don't have the balls to do.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I don't. That's the only reason I don't agree
do
with the death penalty. Is that if this person is truly meant to die,
if that is valuable enough to you, that your loved one was killed, if that is a value enough to you to go and end his life, do it.
New death penalty idea.
So you guys don't believe in a death penalty. You guys just believe in the penalty of death.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
That's literally what I said. Is
penalty of death.
If you kill somebody in my family, I am your death penalty.
Yeah.
I just do not believe in the whole. Oh, let's go strap him to a chair. Let's make it to where to me, it's like calling somebody a gladiator, but you string them up against posts and then feed them to a lion. It's not a gladiator. It's an offering. It's food. A gladiator is throwing, because these people.
Yeah, the gladiator has a say in this.
A gladiator is someone who has done wrong. You put that man in a place where he can lose his life, and if he comes out on top, then he has redeemed his life. That's at least some of the ways that ancient societies did it. They threw them in a pit with something that will kill them, and then they gave them a chance to fight their way out. If you are of any value, but if you're just some coward who just took life because you had the chance to, once you're faced with death itself and you cannot overcome it, it was your time to go. Yeah. You do not deserve to be here.
There. All right, I'd be behind a death penalty.
That's why I don't believe in. That's why I don't believe in the death penalty. Is because you're basically stringing up somebody who has taken life and not giving them a chance to see if they are of any worth. I think if somebody was to take Hunter's life and I show up and I am attempting to kill them, and then they still come out on top, then
I don't really believe that.
I just don't believe. I don't believe in the systemic version of.
Yeah, I don't really believe that. Like trial by combat. I
believe it. I'm assuming you mean after you've been adjudicated.
What I mean, if it was a fucking duel and I got, he was the victor in it. But if he just straight up murdered me in my sleep, choke the motherfucker, hang him, lynch that motherfucker, rip his fucking arms off, do whatever you feel like that's necessary of equal value for him taking my own life.
I will say that if
I don't think he should be able to redeem himself because he had no sense of value for other people's life. I don't believe that.
If it ever came up for like a vote, I wouldn't vote. I will say that. Just because I'm in a position, I've never had anybody I know murdered.
Technically speaking, though, what some people argue is that if you do not vote, that is your vote.
I don't know. I think you need so many. I don't know for a fact. I need to probably learn.
I don't
this.
understand the belief.
That's
behind it,
true. Is
but-
because like what would happen ultimately is that it's just settled by less numbers. You know, because no matter what people are
it's
going
not
to vote.
that I don't.
But there's this thing that the fucking college vote thing, the vote electoral college, isn't there like something in there that you have to obtain so many votes like on a ballot?
I believe
right?
on an amendment you need an X amount of votes. I don't know that
Yeah,
for sure.
and like anything under that is just thrown out.
Yeah, just
you
pull
know?
up some
Like
names
that,
from the Revolutionary War, throw those in.
Like that makes sense to me too. But
it's not that I'm voted. I wouldn't vote on it because I don't have a say on it. It's that
It is not your place.
it is not my place. You know, and I figured that somebody, because there are people that's had loved ones murdered that don't believe in a death penalty either.
I actually think it is your place. If you're a part of society,
It's not my
if you're-
place because I
just,
can
No,
understand.
listen, just hear me out. Because it is just as much your responsibility to uphold your Second and First Amendment, your Constitution.
Yeah.
And without upholding that, it's because it's your responsibility to uphold the Constitution. It's also going to be your responsibility to uphold the choices in society.
So
not that I
are you
wouldn't-
saying that not voting is basically withdrawing your belief in it? Or your right to it?
What do you mean?
So say that if it came down to voting, if you have decided not to vote, you yourself have not placed any value on it as you are not defending it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so just like how they say is like, well, you have a republic if you can keep it.
Yeah,
You know,
but this would be an instance where I wouldn't be voting not to change anything. I wouldn't vote because I can literally understand both sides. And
what's the understanding?
I can
on both sides?
understand why you
one
would
dude,
want this
one
dude to
dude
die.
had lack of value for
Not to them.
another. Huh?
I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about the victims. There has to be victims, regardless, no matter
always
what.
victims.
Huh?
There's always victims.
Yeah.
What I'm
that's
saying is I'm not going.
So
I think that one
because
person's
that is a
selfish.
finite, guaranteed thing, you have to disregard it. It's no longer a part of the equation. Because there's going to be victims no matter what. There was victims from the very moment that dude
I
killed him.
think it's pretty rich for a guy that has self-admitted that if you fuck with my kids, I will burn everything you've ever touched, to tell somebody else they can't have the death penalty. I think that would be very narcissistic of me to vote against someone's right to vote for a death penalty when I don't believe in a death penalty, but will fully admit that I will murder the fuck out of you if you fuck with my family.
Yeah, you're just a hypocrite.
So I'm not going to take away someone else's voice when I understand.
Yeah, he's not saying that if it came down to a vote for the death penalty or to eradicate it, he just wouldn't vote because he understands both sides.
I literally understand both sides.
No, I would just say ultimately in the form of the death penalty that we have, I do not believe in it. I do not
Yeah,
support the
I
death
think that you
penalty.
should be able to go and. Now, I don't think that somebody kills your friend and you go and fucking clack up his
So,
house.
all right,
I do believe that
okay.
you need a judge
Let
and
me
a
ask you
jury
this
and all
then.
these things.
Jumper
If
cable
mom-
on his nuts.
If mom came to you and asked you and said that I want a divorce, is there anything you can do about it?
No.
That's kind of my stance on it. Is that there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to accept the reality of it.
Right.
That
that's-
person's leaving. Yeah.
Right.
So if that dude is off, that family has to accept the reality that their loved one is dead.
Yeah. And I respect people that can. Me, I'm not. You fuck with my kids, I will burn your entire village. I'm not of that headspace. I respect people that are. I've watched stories of people going and visiting the person who killed their loved ones in prison. That's
Yeah.
insane to me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
That's just them
to be
trying
honest
to.
with
That's
you.
just them trying to cope and trying to find some kind of solace.
I would get a job
They
at that
want that
prison
person to
and
say
fucking just
sorry.
lighter and hairspray in the bars of the. I would kill that dude.
Have you ever
I would be an
seen?
inmate in this.
Molotov him in the hole.
Have you ever
Yeah,
seen when the victim's family of someone who got killed goes to see the killer and wants them to be like regretful and mournful, and then they're just not because they're truly
because
just don't care and just unaffected by what they did. And then the family gets even more hurt.
Somebody's pity intervention is obviously he does not care. He took somebody's life because he didn't care.
Yep.
You think he's going to give a fuck how you feel? He didn't care how that person felt as they were dying.
Yeah.
You think he really gives a fuck how you would feel?
So
there's a lot of people that kill and that didn't care at that time.
All right. So what is it? So what is it that you're doing when you go and put this dude in jail for the rest of his life?
Dude, it's
Because
not a place
the only-
It does waste a lot of taxes too.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about on a moral standpoint
We could
because
be
at
using
the listen, at the end of the day, what
Ukraine.
you're going to do is when that dude is in prison, the only people that it's going to feel some sort of way towards is the people that aren't involved. Like what I mean by that is if them killing them is basically the same as them putting them in prison. To me, because
not a place I'd want to be. I can tell you that.
But who is it benefiting?
Doesn't benefit anybody.
Well, it's
death by 1,000 cuts, I think.
Yeah, and it's like why even educate why even bother doing that? Why? Because that's basically revenge at the same time.
I see your point there.
You
Gives
know
them a chance to
what you're
escape,
doing.
too.
What you're doing is you're basically trying to latch on to something that he took away from you, and you are keeping this dude in this solitary fucking confinement type shit, and just to get some kind of remorse or whatever out of it.
So you're saying that death penalty is just another level of that?
I think it's necessary because
Okay.
he
I can get that. I can understand that.
they took that away from you, so you need to. It's just flipping a page, basically.
But if murder is so bad,
all they're doing is just putting that in front of them and just living with it for the rest of their fucking life. They're putting the dude that, like, some dude came into their life. They stepped on their book, and they just left them there. And I think you just need to remove the fucker off your goddamn book and flip the goddamn page. Fucking oust the dude. He doesn't matter, clearly, because he doesn't fucking care about anybody else.
He didn't want to matter.
I don't care about the motherfucker that don't care about me. That's just how it is.
And people that are in there with life without parole, just fuck it.
Yeah, they're in there, and it's like, whoa.
If they ain't ever getting out, there ain't no point of you being here.
3 hots in a cot. You know, that's what they get for the rest of their fucking life. They don't have to work. They just fucking sit there. If they want to lift weights, they'll just fucking get jacked like a motherfucker. They'll probably end up being some kind of kingpin in the fucking prison.
Eventually, they'll start killing each other.
Yeah, and it's like, I'd rather them just be fucking ousted and that be it. There's no reason for
makes
them to
room
So do you
for other
believe?
people.
So basically, at this point, it's not even about
It's just
justifying.
taking up
It's
space.
basically just all right. Well, these people, society has deemed them that they have fucked up so bad that they can never re-enter society. So why are they still alive?
Yeah, I will say the death penalty does eliminate.
I'll be honest with you.
Listen, I will say that the death penalty does eliminate the factor of an eye for an eye, because there is nobody that somebody can go after, because it is under a bureaucracy.
It's
So if dude kills dude, the dude that knows the dead dude isn't going to come for that dude, because the bureaucracy killed him for you, you know?
Yeah.
And so there's nobody that will then go after that dude that was the first victim, you know? And so that's where it's like you kind of limit the whole
Be honest
eye
with
for
you.
an
you
eye.
clean
As
your
a
house
good-
and remove the dirt. Get rid of the dirt.
I'll be honest with you. As aggressive as it may seem, it does make sense.
Yeah,
Like,
they
yeah,
might
you gotta
actually
clean
be
house.
talking
If we
me back.
literally refuse at any point to ever let you back into society, why are you still here?
Yeah.
Like, if we've stripped
Essentially, that's
if
just
we've
kinda
if we've
torture, I guess.
stripped away your right to live,
Yeah.
Sweep
Why
the dirt
are
out.
you
At the,
still
end,
alive?
at
Clean
the end
it
of the
out.
day, you're just torturing the dude for your own satisfaction.
I guess I'm just too
or for
focused on
society's
the.
satisfaction.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what it is because, well, actually, no, I was about to say just like maybe because that is a deterrent for people not to do it. But I think a better
know.
deterrent is,
Death is
hey, yeah,
kind
if you
of-
fucked up, we are going to kill
Death
you.
is kind of a good deterrent, I will say.
Yeah,
I think
nobody
I'm
wants
just
to
too
die.
focused.
You're not just
on-
going to run into a fucking, 30 guns.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
the
you're not-
motherfuckers who shot that dude in the face. If they know that if they are caught, they will be executed. There's no hang out with your friends forever in the jail. They ain't no tough boy anymore.
Yeah.
You are a corpse.
Yeah.
You'll be
I think I'm
incinerated
just too
when we're done.
focused on the actual victims, and I've never looked at the other part of the picture. I'm just too hyper focused on the families involved in the two.
I've done a lot of thinking on this, and at the
You
end
made
of the
a good
day,
argument.
there's
made a good argument.
there's always going to be victims, no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah, you made a good argument.
no matter what, I'm just weird about the whole death penalty. Just
I
the
just
way-
don't like people being pussies. And,
Well,
hey,
to-
kill him for me.
That's my logic
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
But realistically, our barbaric mentality does not apply in the modern world.
Yeah.
I have a.
Because
What's
we've
more
lost that
barbaric?
sense.
What's more barbaric? Killing someone in passion, or plotting to have someone else do it for you?
I feel like that's a crude way of describing the way that it's set up now.
Is it not that way?
That's what he's saying.
That's my point. It's like,
He's just saying that you're saying it's just a crude way of what is actually happening.
but that's it. That is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
There has to be an
and
arbiter.
people has been propagated to believe that this is the way a civilized society works. But I think you're just as fucked up, even though most people would side with you on it. But if that's just, then why are we throwing people in jail that's getting other people murdered? Maybe they felt that was just. You know, I think you can straw man argument the fuck out of both sides, I think.
It's always going to go back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't vote yes or no,
Yeah.
but I'm honest and will say
I
that.
would vote.
You know,
I would vote. I definitely would. I just look at it as from a constitutional standpoint. I just feel like that's the best
to
way.
give people an option.
I feel like that's the
all right. So let's
The
put
best
out some
route to do
logistics
it.
here then. All right. So life sentence. Why are we keeping them here? Kill them all. Realize how many people that have life sentences that didn't kill anybody?
It's actually quite a bit.
Fucking lot.
yeah. Well,
Life
then you're talking
without
now.
possibility of parole.
Well, now you're just talking about specific laws. We were just
But
talking.
this is the problem
we were
about
ju-
writing
I
things
know,
down.
I know.
When you write things down.
No, now you're straw man arguing. We were just specifically talking about murder. We were specifically talking about a life taking another life, not somebody that fucking didn't file their taxes right. We're not talking about that.
Actually, just to know, like only
when it comes to-
violent, aggravated crimes are the ones that get life without parole, without the possibility of.
So probably burglary
Yeah,
with
you just
like
get like
hostages.
800 years and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
well,
like Bernie Madoff guy.
Well, let's just say he didn't take a life.
Or armed
Well,
robbery.
we could put a value on that. You know, yeah, he didn't take a life, but he had complete disregard for something. You
Yeah.
know, and we could put a number on it. You know,
He made
whatever that
himself
number
a
is, I don't know.
important-
That can come down to a societal vote. You know, but
I don't think society has anything to say about it. To be honest with you, I think it's between these two fuckers.
But if you're going to be a part of that society, you might want to just follow their rules. You're not going to go into a tribe of people and
Yeah,
not
you got a
respect
point.
their culture and not respect the way they live, or you're going to get killed.
yeah,
you got a point there.
we got a gun. We got a gun society. We got a freedom of speech society. The society that we developed on, you know, how somebody is murdered, I think should be down ultimately to that vote.
But if you go to Korea, they just kill you.
I will.
Don't say
I
that
will
too
say this. I will say this. You guys have. I haven't changed my mind, but you guys have definitely blew holes all in it. I will say that. I will admit that.
Yeah, but I understand why you would think
I
the
do
way
too.
that you were saying that.
No.
You know, I completely understand it when it comes to, but when it comes to, you know, the feeling and the responsibility. I understand the reason why you wouldn't want to, you know, put that backpack on and start walking. I
See-
can completely understand it, but the thing is just like how our analogy that we use is that when you take one scenario that you apply certain morals to, you have to apply those same morals to everything. And so when we are as constitutionalists,
Yeah.
It is our responsibility to uphold the Constitution. It is also our responsibility to uphold anything else that is within our society.
Now,
I don't think that's in the
the only
Constitution.
reason I don't adopt your mentality, the only reason is because I just believe in a natural order of the world, and I feel like human.
Are you just talking about death penalty, though, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
the,
just
the
Just the
legality.
law, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys on that, and I don't know an answer for that.
I don't think there really is a right answer. It's
Yeah.
to me the only thing is I just believe a natural order of the world, and if it was going to be that way, it would have happened naturally,
Yeah.
without direct societal intervention. Everything. Some people can argue that societal intervention was the natural way for it to go.
Julio just got by
Yeah.
natural
Who-
society.
Who
Well,
determines
to me, I just
who gets the death penalty? I just thought about this. Who determines?
The state.
a bunch of giant people in gothic robes wearing powdered
Okay.
wigs.
That's
I
not
thought it
true.
was
swearing
the
on a
family.
book of ghost
For
stories.
clarity, that's not true. In the state of Florida,
I know, I'm just-
the
I
I thought it was
jury-
the family.
It has to be a unanimous decision on the jury. That's the death sentence. If one person votes no, it doesn't happen. It has to be unanimous.
Then do we pass it to the family and let them decide?
Well,
Well, they're the ones who initially request it.
If you okay,
to me,
Oh,
that's
okay,
the same thing
so
as
that's what
internal
happened.
affairs. We've
If you-
investigated ourselves.
Okay.
We have determined we've done nothing wrong.
So let me get this straight. So the
you have a witness statements.
Let me see if I get this right. So if the victim, that family, the one that got, they are the one that. So if they catch the murderer, they're the ones that bring up the whole death
Yeah.
penalty, and then it goes to a
Well, you're a
court to
state.
vote.
I'll tell you how it all works. All right, so I can only speak in Florida. I can't say anything about the 49 sucky places. But in the greatest state ever, so the prosecutor can seek the death penalty, but you have stages of your trial. So the first step is the conviction. Once he's convicted guilty,
it goes to
then
sentencing.
it goes to the sentencing. During that time, you have witness statements, and that's when all the family gets up. And this guy was going to be a doctor. He was the best person on the world. He was going to save hunger, and he had the cure for cancer in his briefcase, but the killer threw it in the river. And it's always the nicest people that get murdered.
Especially on the west side of Jacksonville.
I don't want to walk.
People just called him
I was
Julio
gonna be a
Fulio
dog.
All right,
because
continue.
gonna be a
God damn,
dog.
continue.
we just
How
called
does
him
it work?
Mace because he was awesome.
He was a top guy.
And then the jury's present for the witness statements, and so they are the ones who vote. And if it is unanimous, then now the judge can still overturn it though.
All right.
But
Why
most of
don't
the time they go with the
Yeah,
jury.
40 people have decided this person should die.
Why don't
Well,
we-
I don't. So
Yeah. Which has happened. There's even been times where a judge has gone against a jury, I believe, to where like the facts didn't add up here. Yeah.
If the victim's family is going to seek the death penalty, should we make them carry it out? Like stand in a line with guns and
It's still cheating though, because somebody's holding them
but
down. you know what I mean?
if you're going to seek the death penalty, it needs to be by your hand, correct? Why not start doing that and make the victim's family carry it out? If you truly want the death penalty, you will kill this person.
Yeah,
if you don't, they get to sit in jail.
you swing
Easy
the
as that.
axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
I'm more inclined to believe you. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
believe in this fucking. Hey, I don't like this guy. You don't like him either, and
Yeah,
But I get
I don't
it.
like him. You
I
don't like
get
him.
it.
You don't like him.
Not
you kill him.
everybody is.
Yeah.
Not everybody has what it takes to be a chief.
Well, then you should not be the one making chief decisions.
I
Yep.
agree. I agree. Maybe you just sit as emotionally charged as you are, which I would be too.
Oh, 100%.
But I am just fully willing to grab that axe.
My emotions will guide that axe on your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's I get it, but at the same time, and maybe if you did it yourself, I don't know, I'd probably bitch about that too, because then you guys just look like a bunch of retards killing each other. You know, that's how I look at gangs. think you guys are just all stupid. It's also how I look at prisons. Man, you guys are in a boys' camp, dude. You guys should be having fun, and you guys just sit there and make this fucking bullshit problem.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, this is our side of the shell, Brock.
He's staring at me. He won't stop looking at me. Kill him. Stab him.
Could you imagine just all of us just being locked in this house? I just laugh every day. Every day it would be find a way to smuggle in some steaks.
Yeah, we'd be absolutely jacked, but other than that,
Yeah. And I'm ambidextrous, so both hands would still be.
just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I'd have straight up thighs as
I
forearms.
don't really understand it. Like, I don't get it. How it's a power vacuum, I guess. But
All right, so I think we can all agree that we don't necessarily agree with society's form of this. And if the
Society's
will of the
pussies.
world naturally decided that this person was to die, it would have happened in natural ways. But should the death penalty ever be carried out, we unanimously agree that if you want this person dead, you should be the person. And if you are not willing to, it is not your place to make a decision to.
Can I give you a cool...
let me say something. So, like, for instance, how I would make it go, instead of having everybody go into a room and then vote on this dude's death, I think the judge should write a piece of paper that gives you the ultimate power to kill this dude with no repercussions, but it's up to you.
this dude can't fight back though. Just so you know.
Yeah, because he's still got rights.
We're gonna both give you a sword, and if he was really mental, then you ain't gonna let him go 2-0.
Or what we could do is so you either sign it that you will take this matter into your own hands, or you could take the matters into the court's hands and they just put him in the jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah, to me, I think what would be great. I think if this person has been apprehended, you put him in the shackles, and the back of his neck is sitting right there. They give you the axe. When people are presented with that, as much hatred as they feel, I think most people. I think most people. It's not only that. I think even put into the position where you hold the power of life or death,
they won't do it.
I think I think that they would much rather walk away with the power of mercy.
Yeah.
So ultimately,
I'm better than that.
You will. I will not become you. You will sit the rest of your life doing.
So it will ultimately fix itself.
It would. I strongly feel that way. I think people think that society is meritless and all this stuff, but I think most people, when left to the ultimate decisions, I think they are. The reality is, you don't obey the law because you'll go to jail. You obey the law. Most people, 97% of the world is law-abiding citizens, and they don't obey the law because that's the law. They don't steal your shit because they don't want to. You know?
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't obey laws because they fear the repercussions. They obey laws because they are a good person.
Yeah, they just
the Wild West.
To.
You could be the executioner, and nobody went around killing everybody. There was outlaws that certainly did it, but there were towns that totally.
There are outlaws.
Come to our town,
motherfucker. You might want to keep riding that shitty ass horse you got. The fuck on past our place.
Get the stepping, bro.
Get that fucked up wagon the fuck out of here because your kind isn't wanted here.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't think you need, I think governments have done a very good job at persuading you that you do.
I got a fun way to carry out the death penalty. Cover them in peanut butter, strip them naked, give them a knife, and drop them off in the woods in West Virginia and let me hunt them for sport.
Why? Because you like peanut butter?
Yeah, so why
peanut butter to attract animals? The knife gives them a chance to fight.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
Them being naked is just for my pleasure.
Most weirdest skinwalker deer on the planet, if they saw a naked dude with a knife covered in peanut butter, even the deer would be running away from him.
Could you imagine me walking on a trail? It's like, what the fuck?
It's the best fucking animal I've ever hunted.
Why peanut butter? You still haven't answered me this.
Because peanut butter is hard to get off and it sticks really easy.
Why? So does poop.
Is it just mud? Just torture?
Because peanut butter is going to attract animals and flies and bugs and stuff like that.
Guess what scares them off? The person the peanut butter is attached to. I don't even hunt. And
Dude,
why am I
that's
telling you this?
So that's just strict pleasure then. It's strict
All right,
pleasure.
Peanut butter's for you.
Sorry,
The
dude's
peanut
covered
butter's
in
for
peanut
you.
butter.
All right, we have come to the conclusion.
The
Max
peanut butter
likes
man.
peanut butter.
Well,
Max put peanut butter on his dick as a kid for him, not for his
no,
dog.
but I never actually did that. But I did. And do you remember Crawford, the fat dude
Yeah.
that looked like Trump in high school?
No, he didn't look like Trump. He just looked like a fat faggot.
He didn't look exact. He looked like a pale white blonde haired version of him. But
Okay,
anyway,
anyways.
So
continue.
basically, he looked just like somebody else.
yeah.
He looked just like him himself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Motherfucker looked like his reflection.
he did a
The only
stupid
similarities he
thing.
had to Trump was that he was a white dude.
I don't
Then he had
know.
blonde
Did you ever
hair.
have his class?
No.
Oh, anyway, he did this thing where you would write on a piece of paper a secret that you've never told anyone. And to be funny, I wrote that I put peanut butter on my dick and let my dog lick it off. And he's up in the front of the class and he was reading everyone's off. And you could see him going through the stack of papers. He reads this one, he goes, and then he goes, and doesn't even read it. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, fucking pussy.
Did that actually happen?
Sent to his.
I totally would see something like that.
I would straight up fucking tell you. I never actually did that. As much as people want to believe that I would be the person to do that,
Yeah.
no, I've never done it.
So you never had
I
a
did-
I'm
shot.
going to call him out.
I
He
did, and I'll
has
tell you this: I
totally-
did hump my dog to show dominance to that motherfucker.
He has done that. I have witnesses. He was
Yeah, I was like,
naked.
I'll show you, motherfucker.
He was naked while he did it. That is
Fucking naked. I
your
was
pants
not
were
fucking
down,
naked.
motherfucker.
What are you talking about, bro?
Your dick was out. I don't want to hear
So
it.
my dog had a major problem with humping fucking everything and everyone.
So Max
He would
dropped
chase
his
kids.
pants
No,
and
I
he
did not
humped his
drop
dog.
my
I
pants.
never said you fucked him. I'm telling you the
dropped
truth.
my
I
pants.
never said you fucked him. Just because you had your dick out doesn't mean you fucked him.
I never dropped
But you
my
did
pants,
have
though.
this motherfucker.
Bro,
What time is it? I'll call Tyler right fucking now.
Why would Tyler know about this?
It's
Pretty sure
noon.
Tyler wasn't there. But anyway, I had a
pretty
friend that,
sure he
that
was.
lived next
You
door.
don't
that
even
would
know
come
your
over.
pants were down. How would
It's
you
either
know
that or Deontay.
I had a friend that lived
dude,
next
your dick
door
was out.
that would come over, and this dog
so
would
alarming.
fucking. My buddy would jump over the couch.
You realize
and
your
the
friend's
dog.
not cool.
He just opens the door and he's just
Okay,
stop fucking humping everything. I'm the dominant.
how you looking now, bitch?
I cannot believe you're trying to say that you did not have your pants down.
I did not have my fucking pants down. I
How
know
many
that.
times have you done it then?
Put my pants down? Like
Yeah, because
think
you're
it-
recalling a time that you didn't
I don't
have
even
your pants
remember
down.
doing it. I thought it was someone else.
No,
that
you
I thought it
did.
was
No,
someone
you
else.
said you've done it like 3 times because he
Two.
wouldn't get the point.
two for two different groups of people. I did it for two groups of people.
Dude,
But
oh man.
but
Hey guys, I need to show you my dominance to my dog.
show you how
This,
to run my
this
house.
is the guy. This is the guy that he would walk into his sister's room that has friends over with his dick out, and he want to sit there and argue that he did not have his pants down to hump a
I
dog
never
into
did my
submission.
I never did my dick in front of my sister.
No, you've
Are
told me this.
you fucking serious?
My ass.
No, you've told me this.
Were you
I've
lying then
never
or
done
now?
my dick.
Were you
I've
lying
never
then or
done my
now?
dick. You
All
can
right.
call my
It's
sister
okay.
and ask
No,
her
no,
right
no,
now.
we can't put this on the internet.
You can call my
No, we
sister
are.
and ask her.
We totally are.
You
I
can
can't.
definitely call her and ask her. She's never seen my dick.
No, you've told me this.
She's never seen my dick.
Yeah.
But
Not my dick. She's seen my ball. A ball. She's seen one ball.
My sister has never seen
All right,
it.
next
She's seen my
subject.
ass.
Tyler's
A lot.
wife, my wife, everybody, Kylie, every single female in my life has seen your penis.
Yes, I will say that. But my sister has never seen my dick. That
So
maybe
she's just
when we
seen
were
your-
really,
just your
really, really
penis.
young.
She's seen your penis.
No, she's seen a ball. One of my nuts.
Dude.
What,
'Cause
from
I popped
behind?
it- No, I popped it through the little. You know how you can zip your.
I can't hear you.
You know how you can zip your pants down through the little thing.
The zipper?
I popped one of my balls through that, and I would like flick it over on people and stuff and show them it. Yeah, I used to do
you
that
would
shit
be
a lot.
assaulted
Yeah.
growing up with me.
God
Hey,
damn.
you get a
This
ball put
man
on you.
has
Hey,
never humped
hey.
a dog into submission with his pants down.
Hey, I put my nuts on.
I think maybe he's
hey,
convinced himself that didn't happen.
He
I'm
just
pretty
convinced
sure-
himself his sister has not seen his dick. Sorry,
Oh,
his
yeah.
penis.
Yes.
Well,
Every
him-
woman I know have seen your
him-
penis. Yes.
So,
but
all
my
right,
sister's
we
never
have-
seen my dick.
A dick is erect. A penis is flaccid.
yeah. The softball of meat, that's the penis.
what?
The full 6-inch Punisher. Now that shit, that's a dick.
I used to do. I used to like do something like that and pop it out,
Punisher.
so you would never actually see the dick. I don't
That's the
know.
title of this video, the 6-inch Punisher.
No, I'm pretty sure I know my sister's never seen my.
You gotta get closer to the mic, dog.
Even Tyler's mom has seen your penis.
She has also seen yours.
That is true. But she has also seen my asshole.
What?
So Tyler's mom came home one day.
I need to call the cops on this.
Yeah.
So Tyler's mom came home one day. So the way that her kitchen is, there's a sink and there's a window. Right outside there is the pool. She comes home, can't find us, and then out of nowhere
She
she
found something.
just hears, and then sees me butt ass naked off the roof into the pool, full. Like, she didn't directly see my asshole, but
Okay,
it's
she
just
wasn't
it's
like-
kind of like. Yeah, there wasn't any inspections happening, but like I'm just saying, if you're seeing the back of me and I'm like full like Spider-Man-y, I'm just imagining you've seen my asshole, or the stitching in the gooch. I mean,
Yeah. And maybe a.
The pool must have been close to the window.
yeah, yeah, it really was. It was what, like 3-4 feet?
Huh?
3-4 feet?
It was not 3 or 4 feet from the roof to the pool.
No, from the window.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean you can. It's probably about maybe 10 feet.
It's
But then they
probably
just
like
saw
a
assless chaps just.
10-foot gap from the window.
Was
probably
so was that your
not much further.
topic? Was the death penalty thing? I can't remember.
Yeah, that was it. And that can lead into another topic I have is champagne problems.
Champagne problems?
Champagne problems.
Fuck, do you
gotta
actually
get closer
need
to
to
the mic,
describe
dog.
that?
Champagne problems is just frivolous bullshit. People complaining about.
okay.
Oh, it's an
All right.
expression.
Yeah, it's an expression.
Yeah, I was about to
okay.
say, like, what do you?
I was like, you talking about an alcoholic?
This Moscato's too cold.
Yeah.
It's just people of high class
Complaining
about
useless
their
shit?
world being.
Oh, okay.
Let's-
I
I
see.
think everyone's going to
Let's
find something to
come this
complain
after a
about.
break because I need to piss.
Okay. All right. We'll take a break. So you were talking about champagne problems. And we're back from break, by the way. It's you guys, it's like,
Would not know.
Yeah,
but
it-
I have just ate a sandwich.
yeah, it's been like 3 hours.
Champagne problems, man. That
Someone
is,
came and visited.
Champagne problems is just shit people bitch about that has no precipice on the world stage other than in that person's own reality.
This grass is a 1/4 inch too long.
Yeah. Did you believe what Timmy said?
Anything
Who's
a female
Timmy?
politician has to say.
Do you people have problems at work? And basically, the world is their problem.
But isn't that everyone to a certain extent?
Not to me, man, because I've learned to navigate the world. I realized that. So this is what I've learned. I've recently knew somebody who I'm not talking to anymore. She would just walk through the world at. Picture you liking Beyonce. And as you walk, you expect everyone to change their channels to Beyonce for you. The entitlement is what creates champagne problems.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And it's just the world must conform to me
Yeah.
instead of you conforming, or not conforming, navigating through everyone's differences because no one's the same, bro. Fucking nobody.
It'd be pretty fucking boring if it was.
Yeah, dude. And instead of just sitting there and
There wouldn't be a world if everyone was the same.
like me, I embrace the differences.
Yeah.
The differences, even though I did not change my mind on the death sentence thing, I am fully willing to admit that you guys carpet bomb the fuck out of every single bit of it. You know?
That's the best part about being here is everyone has a different opinion and likes different things. Like,
Yeah.
do you like sour cream?
Sometimes on tacos.
Okay, I love sour cream on a lot of different stuff. We're
That's
fucking
disgusting.
different.
That's disgusting. You are not as good as
We're not 100% the same, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
So when I hear somebody say that they just aren't what I want to be, or what do they do, and it's this person's that, and this person doesn't do this, and it's like, what do you do?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing. They just sit there and just expect the world to bow at them, but yet the person that I know has done nothing, like literally nothing.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? Like, what have you accomplished?
Yeah.
You've accomplished jack dick. You may be on the cusp of accomplishing a few things, but I know people half your age that's done way more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I've known a 16-year-old that bought their own car and rebuilt it.
Knew a 16-year-old who bought a 2018 brand new Corvette Stingray off of his own money that he made. He made his own app. He has his own business. At 16 years old, he's already made over $2 million profit in his life.
Yeah.
Shaking the damn table, bro.
Daddy's money.
No, that wasn't daddy's,
Daddy's
money. He
money.
created his own stuff and made his own
not
money.
without daddy's investment.
We know a guy. I've talked to you guys
Still
about
a
this
piece of
too.
shit,
It's like a dude told me that if you got 10 successful people together and you all laid your problems out on the table, 9 times out of 10, everybody's putting their problems right back in their pocket. And we all know a dude that, in my opinion, has like every single one of his problems are completely self-inflicted. Well, you too, actually. But it's like, even like, there's no doubt, like, my problems and your problems are completely different.
Yeah. But who has the same problems?
Well, your problems probably feel the exact same to you as his problems feel to him.
Your problems are so stupid.
Getting punched hurts.
Your problems are so stupid that it would irritate me having to even deal with it. Because this is your champagne problems? Bitch, I got to find $12,000 tomorrow.
But how do you know I don't look at yours the same way?
The same way. You know what I mean?
Because I wouldn't put myself in a situation where I had to spend that amount of money. You know? Well, I
Tit for
haven't
tat.
been in a situation that I've had to spend
Tit for
that
tat.
amount of money. Yeah.
You know, I'm looking for something different. Nothing
Yeah.
better. I'm just looking for something different.
My dad gets mad at people, and this is kind of relatable. He gets mad at people on the road for leaving a really far gap in front of the, like between the car in front of him, and then he's the one that's doing it. I'm like, but you're getting mad at other people. For
That's
that.
not even champagne problems. That's just somebody not even realizing they're an issue.
I know, but you're
same thing, I
you're
guess.
saying that someone else's problems aren't real problems, but then you're saying yours are. But you're not respecting someone else's, you know?
It's that, man. It's fucking priceless. It fucking chokes me up every time, dude.
What do
Go
you mean?
ahead and come out with it, bro.
No, I'm just like Max has been so animated when he's speaking. He's like,
I am.
And then-
I am. I don't know
and then
why.
he occasionally does this and keeps tapping. So I've been doing this and like blocking his taps. And then I looked at me looking at him, and I just thought it was funny. So I looked at what this looked like, and I've just been
Well, because
just watching my arm.
you know Ricky Bobby? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Not slap the table.
Dude, was that thunder, bro?
I'm just gonna leave him here.
Sound like thunder.
Yeah, there's a literal ACDC's outside.
I'm just gonna leave him here. just gonna sit here the rest of
There
the
should
time
be a
like this.
midget crossing the street with a guitar. On one
I hope
foot.
we can ride the dink.
The dink's getting. I don't know, man.
The dink's
Thing
gonna
isn't
be
right.
flooded when you
It's
try to
called
carry it
a
out.
lightning
there.
rod.
Well, I need a bucket.
Well,
So how would you
Only plastic beach buckets.
How would you deal with someone with champagne problems, or can you even? Because
just
I don't-
listen.
I don't
That's
think
probably what they want.
Oh, just have them experience a day in your world.
that's not even that. I just don't.
That's kind of saying that your problems are valid, but theirs aren't.
No, no, it's not.
I don't
No,
think-
no. What I think it is doing is actually it's just indicating other kinds of problems, and if they are smart enough, they'll be able to realize that problems
I don't think
are
they are.
problems, and they can like what. Stop bitching, bro.
I don't think
Because
they are
my-
intellectually capable of self-evaluating themselves.
I get bitched at for me bitching. So I listen to people pretty much bitch all fucking day long, whether it's my grandma, mom, dad, sister, friend, anyone, right? I'll listen to anyone bitch. I don't care. I
Honestly,
just shut up and
you
listen.
know, I think you actually prove a good point. People bitching about somebody's bitching is the same thing as somebody calling someone a labelist.
Yeah.
But
You're just always complaining. It's like,
I'm like,
the fuck are you doing?
man, I can't find. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
trying
but
to get
is that
this.
person always doing it though? The one that complained about him complaining, you know, because it could just be his first time complaining about somebody complaining all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah,
But you don't do it.
There's a reason you don't go having a screaming match in public. Nobody knows who the idiot is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So it's like,
That's true.
it's-
Like,
That's a
if you-
very
if
good
you-
way.
if
somebody
you
was standing
stop
around. All
talking
you
to
do
him-
is complain, bro. I'm so tired of it. It's like,
You're complaining,
fuck
dumbass.
is this guy?
Yeah. So like the best thing to do in that situation is just to not talk to him. It's like, why are you talking to me? Dude, you just fucking complain too much. I just don't want to deal with
Yeah,
it.
you're a bore.
That's like the best way to deal with that.
Yeah, it is.
Because then you're
Unfortunately-
not complaining. You're just like just swaying your fucking
Yeah,
path.
I feel like complaining about somebody complaining is stepping into like a rabbit snare trap. You know, with your toes, you're just
Yeah.
kind of like, and you're stuck. It's just like
Yeah.
fuck.
So I'll be complaining because say I'm trying to get this
Can't
in
hear
here
you.
and I can't get it like
Can't
Oh,
hear
you
this.
should speak in the
I
microphone.
can't get it like this, right? And I'm trying to do this. And it's so
you should
simple
really
to get it
stop
like this.
smacking the fucking table.
But I can't get it to go like that. And it should be so simple. I'm just using this
Dude,
as
you
an
know,
example.
you know, nobody knows what you're talking about, right?
I'm talking about
I'm not talking
complaining.
about us. I'm talking about them.
Okay, so what I'm talking about is I'm trying to get this to fit like that, but it's stuck like that. It should be so simple to just flip
What
it.
are you trying to get to fit like what?
Complaining. I'm complaining because I can't get it to fit flat. Not this. I'm just using this as an example. Say you're
What?
trying to close the fridge and you can't get the fucking
Using
fridge
what?
to close.
Using what as an example?
Now it froze.
No. Now that you can finally see what the
Yeah.
fuck you've been hammering for the last 10 minutes.
Oh, I thought I forgot there's not a camera.
do struggle to see the correlation.
But I'm complaining because I can't do something that's so fucking simple
Can't
and
hear
someone
you.
else chimes in. But someone else, like, all right, my dad will be next to me. He'll be like, I'm tired of listening to you fucking bitch. And I'm like, you're bitching. You're bitching about me bitching, bro.
Dude,
What the fuck?
Imagine running a company for 20 years, raising a son for 25, and then you're tired of hearing him complain for 8 hours straight, and then you finally point it out to him, and that man baby calls you bro. Calm down, bro.
Hey,
Like
I
all
just-
these things, all these stars align for me.
No.
Finally, one day
No.
I just snap and say, dude, I'm tired of listening to you bitch. And then the
Max
only
is like-
thing you have to say is, why are you bitching?
Dude,
Honestly, it would make you think, is it really that? It would make you think, is it really that deep? No. I would be caught off guard for at least a minute where I'd be like, this motherfucker has.
This is all density.
That was if
I
there's
just
any
wanna say,
time to choke
If I
this
know
shit out
your
of
dad, your dad looked at you like he was about to strangle the fuck out of you.
no, it's fucking stupid because I listen to him complain all day. He runs a company. I get it. So I listen to him complain on the phone. He gets mad at people. He complains to me about guys, about everything. And I listen to this. And then I get mad because I can't do something simple. And I'm like, fuck, man, why can't I just get this? And I'm like, I'm like beating myself up. And then I got to listen to someone else go, hey, man, shut the fuck up. And I'm already mad. And now I'm like, bro,
I'll be honest with you. With you
fuel.
explaining your side, you sound like your dad.
I know,
Because
but I'm
basically, that Max. So
do
Max,
what I do. Shut the fuck up and let me
so
complain.
basically,
That's what I
Max's dad
want.
was Max all day, and then he became the dad to Max's dad, talking about him being his dad all day. They
I'm
were doing
fucking-
the same thing all day.
That's
It's
gonna give
just-
me a stroke.
yeah, the only worst
just
part
want
about it is
people
that
to let
both of them
me
are named
bitch.
Max.
Yeah, Max
Hey,
did the Max, and
if
Max
you're gonna
did this
bitch and
shit
I
to
have to
Max.
listen to you, shut the fuck up and let me bitch. You know? Don't call me out for bitching
Technically
and I don't.
speaking, he's the weaker soul because you're the one that listened to the bitching and then didn't bitch about the bitch.
I know, but I've done.
He's the one that
with
listened to the bitching and bitched about the
every
bitch.
fucking person I
let
come
the boy
into
bitch.
contact with.
So let
My
the boy bitch.
grandma. I'm trying to have a conversation about when
the boy bitch.
I'm having a conversation with my grandma trying to talk about things, what it was like in her time period. And she's like, I don't fucking know. I lived out in the country. And she's like being aggressive and hostile towards me. I'm like, you're my grandma. I'm trying to have a decent conversation with you. And
like,
now you just
Oh, y'all extra.
cussing me. I don't know, man. I'm
why-
tired of listening to other people bitch. And then they don't give me the same.
Dude, is this guy gonna? He's
Energy.
been bitching for like 20 minutes.
It's always bitching, dude.
It's because I don't get to bitch. It's because I don't get to bitch.
Every time I see Max, he's bitching. about
Oh,
something.
y'all bitching.
All y'all bitching about bitching. Bunch
Dude,
of bitching ass bitches. Bitch.
I'm tired of hearing you bitch, dude.
I'm tired of listening.
I just want
to people
somebody to
bitch.
listen to me bitch. dude.
I think there's a difference between bitching and because some people can make complaining and shit fun and interesting, you
Yeah.
know, like being funny about it. And then there's some people who just like are in a bad mood complaining and then just let it ruin everybody else's.
Well, it's
Yeah,
the
they want a
difference
bunch of
of
high fives.
It's the
or
difference
low
of
fives.
yeah, they're just like, yeah, man, I totally get you. Yeah, this please stop
Yeah,
talking.
you're
But like,
edgy.
it's
So
the
what-
difference of not actually giving a fuck.
So what was your whole
Yeah.
thing about the champagne?
that's actually-
problem?
Sounds like champagne problems.
But I may, but here's the thing. I'll come
actually,
to
Max
you.
did make a good point.
I'll come to you and I'll complain about some shit
I
that
won't
just
tell
happened.
you,
I
but-
really don't fucking care about. You know,
Just
Like-
gotta let him go, man.
I got.
Like he was almost given a recognition badge, but he's like, "Nah, fuck that, keep that."
He's like a dog. You know those
It's like
Those
Max
are-
is
no.
on to something. I hear, "Shut the fuck up, I'm on to something."
you know those retractable leases.
Yeah.
He's the one that broke.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it don't retract.
It don't come
Like,
back.
You,
And then
you
that-
can't lock it.
You gotta
And-
like.
yeah.
No, Max's handle when it went in, it just is in a perpetual state of
Yeah.
rotating, and it's
Yeah.
gone now.
How I think of Max is that we're all, when it comes to like a joke or something, we're building a house, right? Somebody lays down the foundation, the others building this house, and then Max comes along. We ask him, we ask him, hey Max, go grab a hammer, and he just fucking grabs a chainsaw or something.
It's like, no,
This'll
you're
work.
Well, I figured you need to put the roof on at some point.
Do you guys need this?
Well, a saw's a saw.
This is, like my exact
which-
explanation is what's happening right now.
Yo,
I was busy building a house, and then he
I
just
went and
came
grabbed
over
that
and just
diesel
fucked it up.
generator you asked for. I was like, I asked for a hammer. Well, you're gonna need to power your chainsaw somehow.
Yeah, this is for later.
Two stroke.
I knew you were gonna need this too.
He's just he's somebody that you constantly need to put bumper rails up.
And that's why I wanted him on here.
This motherfucker about to make me have a permanent dent in my forehead for how much I've been rubbing my
I am
shit.
envious for anybody watching this because they just get like a shot glass. Like we get the big gulp of this motherfucker. It's like just bitching.
Drinking from the cup of Max is like cutting the top half of a gallon jug off and trying to drink out of it.
Yeah. or poking a hole in a shotgun and a gallon of milk.
Nah, to me, it's that handle right there. It's just a full gallon. That's asking Max a basic question about his day is basically just
Here's everything.
bottoms up on a gallon.
Yeah,
jug.
you put like a MMA head thing on and just get a chair and just take
Yeah.
it like a man.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, I've got such a headache, and here comes Max, Captain Encino's too. You about to have two of them motherfuckers.
Dude's a maniac. If you could navigate and you can't listen to what Max says, you
Isn't
just
that
have
the
to
face he
hear
makes
what
with
he's
Captain
talking
Encino?
about. Does that make sense?
Say that again. I couldn't hear.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was staring at that fucking door hinge over there, so that was pretty interesting.
You can't listen to him. You have to just listen to what he's talking about.
It has nothing to do with what we were just talking about. It never does.
It doesn't need to, does it? Still works, don't it?
We can literally be talking about
I could seed plant
Learning.
the idea of having a paintball match on the islands with the dink, and then just seed plant, and then we just talk about something else, and you see he's hooked on to something. So by the time I stop talking, he's gonna say, "Dude, what if we're just?"
I'm already coming up with ideas.
I'm gonna make a tree fort on your
You're right.
island.
Do you see how he literally got hooked on this shit like, instantly? He's like,
It's like nothing else exists but tree huts and paintball.
Well, if you met my family, you would probably understand the art of tuning shit out. I've got 40 cousins.
I guarantee your family tree sprouts out at the
That's
top.
just between my mom and dad's side,
Dude, there should be like.
not including like third.
I'm starting to think Kim
second
Jong Un is
cousins.
onto something.
And none of them are on food stamps.
Kim
That's the
Jong
crazy
Un
part.
says you're allowed two.
No, actually, most of my a lot of my mom's side is Mormon, but yeah. Well, we're Mormon, I guess. My uncle
You
is
can
not.
leave this house like right now.
I'm not Mormon. Well,
Piece of shit.
technically, I'm still baptized as a Mormon, but I'm not. I don't go to church.
I'm
or do
baptized as a
anything.
Christian.
I watched I watched a video the other day of a dude talking, gave a video animation, a very synopsized video animation of the Bible, but told through Satan's view.
He's probably not that bad of a dude.
Sorry.
He fucks me up too much.
I did this. I did the. Did you see the picture he sent in the group chat the other day? Did you ever send that?
Nope.
So I was. Let me see your glasses real
I
quick.
want to show the camera.
I had my glasses like this. And I had my shirt off like that and just doing that to people outside of the.
You look like a fat ass in that picture, dude.
I was doing that to random people.
The dude's 150, by the way. That looks like a 300-pound Chad.
I was doing that to
Is that Bert guy?
random. I did that to random traffic in Orlando. It's like the shit you do to people because you know you'll never ever see him again.
Dude, we hung my ass out of the window in Melbourne. Pretty sure a few old people.
I was in a.
It's a spectrum
people?
look.
I was thinking about running after people while doing it.
Like a gorilla.
Yeah, like the ape run.
How do they do that?
I need to be wearing headphones with a tablet in my hand though.
All right, now.
All right, it's a different spectrum. Well, literally, but
Okay. Go ahead and just start over.
we're gonna cut that out.
This dude says the Bible is told in Satan's perspective, but I watched this thing. It's like 40 minutes long, and I don't think any of it was fucking Satan's perspective. It was just basically bashing the fuck out of this dude, and just he would just tell the story of the Bible and just mention him, you know, and I don't want to like fuck up the story because I don't know too much about Satan and God and all that shit. But
I know a lot about this.
do you?
No.
But you know a lot about not knowing.
I know that.
I know
did
a lot
learn
about
though
not knowing.
that
I've got a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
I did learn that Satan was God's finest creation, and he had a really Gucci necklace.
I think it was a bust down, but
It was like different jewels and shit, and but he was basically, at least Satan thought that he was going to rule everything afterwards or whatever. And
That's what he was told.
Dad totally said I was going to have the company.
yeah. And then God made
told
this
me.
planet and then gave it to a bunch of pieces of shit. You know what? I'm going to do this again. I won't talk anymore about it now, and I will save it for a story time. I'll do a story time on Lucifer,
Okay.
but I'm going to do it the way I hear it.
All right.
Because what I was hearing, I'll give you one part of this, man. Holy Trinity. I just learned what this was.
Serious?
Yeah.
I've told you about this.
Hey,
Probably,
just so you
but
know,
I
like you are reading a book right now, and then you are grabbing 80 fucking pages and turning. You're like, oh, I'm going to talk about Lucifer, Holy Trinity. Just learned about this. No correlation whatsoever. You just skipped like 8 chapters.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that.
All right, we flip flop.
Okay, so he's going
All
to go
right.
from this chapter, he's going chapter 2, chapter 35, and then he's going to go chapter 12, which will sum up chapter 3 through 25, and then we'll go. This motherfucker just, hold on.
They mentioned Job.
Yeah.
You told me about Job. Never heard of the dude.
The J-O-B dude.
Yeah.
Satan thinks that he can turn this dude, and God was like, nah. Ha! That's my dog.
Vetted.
And so Lucifer goes down there and just smashes everything this guy enjoys. And then, just completely destroys everything but him. He leaves him alone
Yeah.
by destroy anything this dude's ever touched. And he says, I think I can still get him. And he's like, nah, man. Nah. He said, all right, do what you must, but he can't die. And so he like blisters the shit out of him. And he just stays true to God, you know? And Lucifer's like, man, you fucking fanboy, whatever.
Nerd.
Fucking geek. And, he pounds sand with his sandals and shit. And but Jesus comes about. Jesus is basically the new Job, a life of no sin, whatever, all that. Blah,
So
blah,
they
blah.
say.
So they say. He does. Apparently, it was him that did all the fucking turning everybody against him and sacrificing him, all that shit. You know, Jesus. I don't know if anybody knows this. He won. Well, he didn't win. He died, but he won in spirit.
He did come back for round 2, though.
No, yeah, that
Not
boy,
yet.
that boy respawned and captured the flag.
But Satan's all like, dude, Satan's just sitting there chilling, like, dude, I'm just gonna. He got cast into hell for 1,000 years.
Who did?
Satan, Lucifer. And he's just sitting there, just like, man, I'll get out of here. I'm gonna fuck these dudes up. dude."
Keep me my room.
1,000 years, man. He comes out and he gets the entire world's army and all this shit.
He's like, I fucking hate my dad.
and
He's got major daddy issues.
and then God comes down and smites all of them and puts him back in there for another 1,000
Damn,
years, dude.
man, God broke his toys?
Yeah.
Damn.
But then Lucifer, when he went to it, he established an army because the Holy Trinity, it was unbeatable. So he developed his own unholy Trinity. I guess that's what you would call it.
Can you
Empty.
define the Holy Trinity?
It's three dudes.
Anti-Trinity?
They're
Three
the
dudes.
same-
It's God, it's Jesus,
and the Holy Spirit.
and the Holy Spirit.
Okay, so who is it? Lucifer, somebody else, and the unholy spirit?
Omega. No, is it? They said the names. Antichrist was one, and
The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
what's the
it's,
unholy Trinity?
Yeah, it's the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Do the unholy
The Son
Trinity?
is not the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is not the Father. The Father is not the Son, but
They're all God?
God.
What?
Now do unholy.
So a good example that I learned was that a lot of saints. There's this one saint, I forget his name, but I learned this. Is that how they explained it was like a clover. They're all different petals, but they are all this from the same stem, basically. It's all this same shit but different. Same shit but
So
different.
God's the actual plant itself.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now type in the unholy Trinity. Let's see the cool side of things.
Is it called that though?
I don't know.
The unholy Trinity, the Mother, the Daughter, and the unclean Spirit.
What?
That's what I just saw that on the Google. It's Lucifer, it's Antichrist, and a dog with 12 heads.
Astroth. I'm not even gonna Beelzebub
Oh, no, that's Beelzebub. Okay, so that's pretty cool.
and Lucifer.
Those are that's pretty cool. So those are one of the most powerful demons, at least according to some lore that I know.
Some dog that
As-
has a bunch of
as
heads,
Tara?
like 11 heads or some shit.
Nah, not that one.
All right. We're
And then,
speaking out of our ass a lot. So.
And then
Get to
they
the
go to
point.
war. They got a bunch of
Basically, it sounds to me like Lucifer's got the cooler shit. They've got the cooler names and shit.
Well, if I'm honest, man, when I was looking at this, they had all the Satan people painted red and all the God's people painted white. And if you were to flip it around,
But is it just being told from one side of the story?
there's something somebody told me a while back, and it says false God,
False idols.
false idols, and they said that the devil will disguise himself in very clever ways. And in this story that's being told, if you were to switch the names, not the acts, but all of the acts of God, and switched it to Satan, you would have a much easier time believing that that is Satan than the work that Satan does. Satan, he
How?
allows you to, huh?
How?
Well, first of all, everyone can agree that the one thing that God gave you is free will. Supposedly, Satan, that's how he bribes you, is he lets you feed in on your ambitions, you know? To where God says, no, don't do that. Don't use that one thing I gave you. You know? If
So
you
how I
so if you look
understood
at look at the sound, look at the town of it's a town he torched, man. It goes with butt sex. What is it? Sodomy. Sodom Gomorrah.
oh yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah.
I mean, who the fuck would torch an entire fucking town?
Yeah, you gotta understand the premise behind it though.
I understand the premise behind it.
But is it only okay because it was done by him?
That's like whoever wins a war makes the laws. It's only a
So
war
that's kinda
crime
my
because
point
you
is-
lost.
Then Job, the dude died blistered. You know,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like a god. That sounds like a fucking demon, dude. A demon would
Yeah, but-
allow you to do that.
So this is where they get the whole. This is where they kind of defend themselves is, you won't be able to understand God's divine intervention. he can tell you and give you a reason on why these things happened, such as Sodom and Gomorrah. When he went to these cities, he had his angels. He told these angels that he's going to meteorite the fuck out of these places. It's going to be a fucking destruction like you've never seen before.
But-
and listen, and what ended up happening is that these angels went to God as like, well, let us go to these cities. I guarantee you, there is somebody there that we can, that is not as bad as you say. And he said, if you can find 10 people, I think it was 10 people. If you can find 10 people that are worthy to not fall under whatever that he's about to do, his judgment, do it. You have 3 days. And I think it was 3 days. I'm not sure. I'm probably butchering the fuck out of the story, but the angels went in there and they found Sodom, I think is what his name is. Or no, they found Lot. The city is called Sodom. The city of Sodom. Sodom and Gomorrah. It's 2 cities. And that's that whole expression, like my lot in life. You ever heard of that expression?
Yeah.
It's from that dude named Lot. And he has a wife and a couple of daughters. And he was the only one that was not doing any of the frivolous things. Like when the angels went into that city, everybody that was there, all the prostitutes, all the men, and they're like, look, because these angels are fucking perfect creations of God. They're beautiful to all fucking, and so these people were trying to do these frivolous things with them, and they're just like batting these bitches off. You're not worth my time, shit. And they go find Lot, and they're trying to, like, because they saw that Lot was not partaking into these frivolous acts. He just had no way out of the city. And so they were going to get him out of the city. And they told God, like, hey, we found somebody. We found Lot. Want to take him out of the city. And at the end of the day, the story was that the daughters, their mother, she was like, I think she was doing frivolous acts or some shit or something like that. I can't remember, but the daughters went with the dad, with the angels to bounce. The mother, no, she went with them too. They all went with these 2 angels. And the angel said, don't look back. You are not allowed to see the divine intervention of God. But the mom did. The mom heard all the destruction and shit that was happening behind her. And she, out of temptation, she turned around and God turned her into a pillar of salt. And so she just got it right fucking there. And
That's where the term "got" came from.
Yeah. And so these 2, they're roaming in the desert for, I think, years. I can't remember. But the daughters, they're like, dude, I still need, I still need to birth a son. I still need to continue our lineage. And so they raped their dad.
They were pieces of shit too.
They were pieces of shit too. And they held their dad down while he was asleep and fucked him. And they both ended up dying through childbirth.
I wonder why. Incest, baby.
And Lot, I think he ended up dying during that whole situation too. Like, but the whole point of that story was don't question God's judgment. Because if he says that this is what is going to happen because this city is filled with temptation, this city is not of a divine, like it's not. There's no humanity here.
I was going
You
to
know?
interject and say, well, how God being an all-knowing being, how would he not? If the angels were able to find someone of worthiness, how would he not? But
Exactly. But
the
he knew.
end of the story is they gotcha.
Yeah, that was the whole point of it, is that you don't question God's divine decisions.
Well, I wonder
You know?
if it's because like when you play Sims or something like that, you're looking at everything like this, and he can go, okay, this needs to happen here, this needs to happen here, this needs to happen here, and you're saying, well, why is this one happening? When he's like, no, it has to happen so this lines up, and you're questioning the one thing.
Well, he
you
just
know?
basically he was telling you, he was showing you the result of something, and so everything that happened with these cities, it was a result of something, and there was no turning back from it.
Yeah.
And because he gave us free will, it's at the end of the day, it's our decision to follow him or not.
Yeah.
You know, I hate the what do they call it? Ultimatum. I hate the fucking ultimatum that these religious people give, such as like, yeah, you have the ultimate free will to follow God or not. You have that decision, but if you don't, you're burning forever. You know, it's like,
So think about that.
yeah. So think about that, because you can not do that if you want
It
to.
feels like it's a sin to only follow him in fear of repercussion if you don't.
Yeah.
Something I learned by watching this thing is that God and Lucifer would have challenges. So Job was a challenge. It was a bet.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got two fuckers betting who will get someone's loyalty, and then this person has your loyalty, and to have your loyalty so much, torture him. Go ahead, I'll prove it. Torture him. Yeah, he ain't going. That ain't no God to me, dude. That is no God to me. That is no God to me. That's like me saying you're loyal to me because I'm your dad. And then me get my buddies, and he wouldn't go to you. Prove it. Burn him. Burn him. Shoot him in the foot. Shoot him in the foot.
Yeah, kill his dog. See,
Yeah,
who it comes to.
Kill his kid, and he will never stop loving me. Go ahead, scalp him. Go ahead. Put blisters all over him.
Yeah.
That's not a God to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I understand I might poke at a lot of people, but I believe in God. Just for clarity, I do believe in God, but I don't believe in this shit.
I believe in a God, just not one of Scripture. There's not been one that has appealed to me of any kind of faith or religion that has grabbed my attention.
Yeah. When I hear that, I think about that shit that person said to me, that the devil, Satan, will trick you in most cleverest ways. And I believe that there is a possibility that if this religious thing is real, I think that people might be following the wrong one.
The only
Well, I think
reason,
they're all stupid,
the
but-
only reason why I would object to that is, I've told this before, is because of objective good and bad.
You know, so
That's the
there's
only
somebody
thing.
I really would like to invite on here, and his name is Den.
Harvey Dent?
So
Is he a DA?
He's so he is married. So he's married. He is a very devout. He follows a Christian faith. He doesn't call himself a Christian though. He follows a Christian faith. He believes in God through the Christian scripture, and he himself did not believe in it or anything of it until he was in college, whenever he found it. So he was a grown adult, had a path of thinking, a mindset. So he was a fully developed person and making his own decisions, following his own basic moral compass. You know what I mean? And he said he had faith distilled in him since an early age. But his wife, on the other hand, was born and raised into a very devout Christian family. And she followed the Christian faith, and she was a devout Christian from as long as she could cognitively think. And so you have two very different upbringings, and one was able to find the faith. And there's something that even he brought a good point of is the like battles of Lexington and Concord. You've got U.S. government history, the way that the Constitution was made, the reason we apparently left England and stuff like that. How do you know that was real?
You didn't live through it. You can't prove it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he said the Bible is just a book. Historians keeping these things, writing these things, these actions.
Everybody
He said,
writes good books.
why do you blindly believe that the history book you're reading is real, but you lend no credit to this one?
That's a fair point.
And it was
Yeah, but I don't really believe in the history books either.
yeah,
So to
well,
speak.
Can't prove anything you didn't see for
Well-
yourself.
but that's the thing is like the only reason we believe the history book is real and it tells things accurately is because based off of we have the Bill of Rights, we have,
we have
the
evidence.
Constitution, we have stuff like that. But
Even that
this
could have been made
this
up.
evidence,
It was made up.
this evidence is your 10 Commandments, your scriptures, your religious practices. There's stuff like that. There's all these things, these crosses and pendants and stuff like that. There's things that we've held dear for thousands of years.
He drinks
But
Red Bull
we
a
give
lot.
we give zero credit to this book, and we give
Maybe they just
all
like
the credit to
slang
this
goats.
one. And there's a concept that has been making it easier for me to understand why people follow this and believe in this faith. It's to me, I've realized that I've not been lending any possible or any benefit of doubt or credibility to that one book.
Yeah.
And it's the same reason I think skinwalkers are real. I have literally no reason to. There's no proof
Yeah.
to show that they aren't. But I also have no proof to show that they are. So for me to just shut it off based off of just skepticism doesn't make any sense. And then there's one thing I've realized is that people think that time travel doesn't exist because based off of our understanding of the way of the world works or the way that we think the world works, the physics and evidence that we have now, it is literally impossible to warp time to go back. But to assume that God operates within our understanding of physics and laws of the world,
Kind of
it's-
ignorant.
It's ignorant. To assume that everything that happens in this planet
It's got a human.
applies to every single area in the entire known existence that we think that we know is retarded and ignorant.
What if God's
So-
a dolphin?
So God could, in theory, just exist. God, in theory, could exist, but the only reason that people are so hell-bent that it doesn't is because no matter how hard you can stare at this can for 20 fucking years and you could never snap it and make it crumble. So envisioning a man that can snap one to just exist, let alone a planet and yourself, is just a hard concept to grasp.
Yeah.
But something that I've been too harsh on is that I've not given any credibility to say, because I'm just basically applying my known laws of physics to a creature that I could never understand.
Yeah.
I could never even harness the power that this person could possibly even hold.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's where my ignorance comes into play. But the best analogy I've been given is, why do you believe this history book, but you do not believe this one?
Yeah.
This is the history book.
I like the
but just of
Builderman.
an origin.
That's just as valuable to me as the Builderman's theory.
You have explained that before. You explain it again.
Yeah. So the Builderman's theory is, so for instance, you look at your phone. Take your cell phone. Take the surfboards. Take this house. Have you ever seen the person that built this?
No, but it
Well,
exists.
the house.
But it exists. Somebody built it.
Yeah.
And who's to say that about the dirt?
To say
the
that
trees,
about the sun.
the sun.
The
See, now
planet.
you guys are
You know?
arguing.
It had.
This is where
there's
I don't think anybody
I
can-
seriously thought about this. That there's absolutely no way this just was not just created.
This seems a
fucking
little
ha-
too complicated and
how-
uniform for
Yeah,
it to
like,
be a
Even if you're an
chance.
evolutionist and you believe that it happened off of a big bang, something created the bang. So if you go
Yeah.
either way, you're going to the Bilderman thing. But my thing is it's a book. I got a beef with this book.
Yeah, I have a
beef
beef with people's like interpretation of. How
I don't believe in. I
this
don't
dude
think
thinks.
it's up for people to interpret it because we don't interpret history. We base our actions and our laws are built around history that were set.
Well, I don't believe a lot of history. I believe that the evidence of it, such as a Constitution and Bill of Rights and all that shit, I believe in the evidence of it. Now, what
So
these people say
what
about
if the
what
Ten
happened,
Commandments are the Constitution?
I've never seen a Ten
Just as
Commandments.
much as the,
The Ten
Consti-
Commandments are the things that were written down.
Just
in
as,
someone's
well,
book.
listen to this. So just
In
as
someone's
much,
history book.
just as much as the Constitution is evidence to the secession of the king, dirt is evidence. To
I don't
the
deny
belief
God.
of God.
I don't deny
To the-
God.
Oh, you're just talking.
I just got to beef with this book and false idols.
Yeah.
I totally believe in idolize a God, but this book, I'm not saying don't believe in it. I'm just saying I don't. Everyone that is hell bent on it, I don't think that there's ever been one moment where they thought their own logic about false gods. Because every single story that I've heard about in the Bible, that does not sound like the work of a God. That sounds like the work of something pure fucking evil.
Is it though?
I
Because
don't-
I use the same interpretation when we do the.
It could just
If
be.
I just
well,
nuked
listen,
a goddamn
let me-
town,
let me-
people would call me a terrorist.
Okay, but so the same justification that I will give to my idea on an eye for an eye, the lack of value that I would have for somebody that has a lack of value in me, I think should be of the same to even the standards of a God. You know, you have a city like Sodom that is just nothing but pieces of shit in there.
But you have to
You know-
have that to know what good is.
In that town, there is no pieces of shit.
Well, to them,
But you have to have
to them.
No, exactly.
But
Because
they're-
keep in mind, our country goes around and blows up families, destroys countries and cities in the name of war, but we see nothing wrong with it because it's our team.
Yeah, and realistically, you're blowing up these places because they don't live the way you live.
In their point of view, we are the terrorists.
Yeah,
We are the ones that are coming up and blowing up their cars, their buildings, and all kinds of shit. And we break into their houses and we hold them at gunpoint and we use their places as places of refuge.
Yeah.
We're the definition of terrorists, and we literally do it for political gain.
yeah.
So in their culture, we are the terrorists. Why would you not shoot at us? We are invading your land.
And to that goat farmer in Pakistan, that is the world. To a 24-year-old sex worker in Las Vegas, your life of civility seems odd.
Yeah. You know, there's people that I work with that dude that Sark that went overseas, done dozens and dozens and dozens of
What's
deployments.
SARC again?
Special Amphibious Reconnaissance Corpsman.
That's
I actually did
so
research
fucking
in
cool.
Yeah, he says he just every time you ask him what he did, he says I was just in the Navy.
It's like
he's
a
special
SWAT
forces.
team, kind of.
He said those people. He asked them to say what part of where in Afghanistan are we? Which city is this? And they're like, the fuck is Afghanistan? These people don't even know where they are on the planet. They're literally just experiencing life. They don't. Some of these people literally do not know that they have a country. They do not.
Serious?
Yes. Like, some of these people do not. They're like, what the fuck is Afghanistan?
Yeah.
Like the people that are living in
Yes,
Afghanistan.
Dude, these
the
are simple
people that
people, man.
live there. The only thing they do, they wake up and they
just
they
make
run
a
with the
mud hut.
goats. They live
what's
amongst
that?
their
All right, hold
community.
It's like the Sentinel Island.
That's what I was fixing to
That's
say. They don't know.
Yeah, they they would literally be what
Sentinel
the fuck.
Island.
It's the
So-
indigenous.
Oh, is that
tribe.
the? Yeah, that's right. And they saw like a
These
helicopter
people-
or some shit.
yeah,
and
these people-
That's
It's
another
like-
island. That's another, and they would make.
Oh, wait, no, you're talking-
They would make.
wait, no, you're talking about
wooden
the-
egg
hold on.
guns and shit.
You're talking about the one where this Christian that went up to.
He was a Kennedy, actually.
And he was, yeah, that's right.
No, that's
and
Mr.
he was,
you
he was
fucked up
trying
bad
to.
if you're on Mr. Ballin.
Yeah, but he was trying to get them put religion into their life. Like he felt like that was necessary.
Yeah, it probably
right?
just depends on which story you listen to. Because
And
some
did
would
they
say that he
care?
was trying
But
to,
that's the same story,
to
right? That's
trade
the same
art
guy?
because
But-
these guys make sculptures and shit like
It's
that.
basically the different. The point of it's like if you told these guys, it's like you're the Centennial. It's like the fuck is that? The fuck is a Sentinel Island?
Yeah,
You mean our home? The fuck is that?
yeah. They probably have their own name for it though.
Yeah, but well, they probably haven't even thought about it. Like I'll be honest
Maybe-
with
yeah,
you,
maybe.
if we just if all of us, if we only knew us five lived here, like in America, there's a bunch of trees, a bunch of shit like that, and we just set up a bunch of places around it. If we've never thought of the concept of what we're doing, so this is a really nice civilization you guys got here.
The fuck
It's
is a
like it's
civilization?
like the fuck you mean? It's like we just be doing shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We were bored.
it's just the way.
can see
It's
that.
just our way of life. We don't know what the fuck this is.
Just doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that some like civilization is what created these kind of religions?
I would imagine so, because I imagine at some point, whenever we have our houses built up, we have family, we have food plentiful, we have water plentiful. Eventually, when there's nothing
Champagne
of
problem.
when there's nothing of
You
day to
give a
day
man time
tasks,
to
I
think.
imagine you have eventually. But say food is plentiful, water's plentiful. There's animals, it's family. All of us have our own houses and shit like that. We built a homestead, and life is perfect. Eventually, I'd imagine you'd start wondering where all this shit came from. Whenever you are now living and not surviving, is whenever you start building luxuries. It's like the first night of like bushcraft camping. Your first thing is initial. It's let's find some form of shelter to stay warm. Let's find something to eat when you start setting things up. You know what I mean? And then I imagine once you have enough food, you now have something to sustain you. And so you'll start making a nicer shelter. You'll start finding a better way to preserve your food. You'll start having plentiful of water. You'll eventually want to start washing so that just so you're cleaner. Then you'll start doing all these different things, and your camp gets bigger. It gets more complicated. You've got special
you
areas.
start developing
That's when
like
you
a
need a
like a
society.
like a tendency. Like you started. What do they call? What would you call that? Like it's like rudimentary.
You build
behaviors.
essentials, then you build amenities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so like you have things that you naturally will start to take care of, such as your skin, your property, your shelter. Always make sure you have a fire, and you will teach that. And
So-
I feel like those will develop those kind of morals, in a sense that this is what you're supposed to do to provide,
Yeah,
Would
and I think
you-
eventually you start wondering where everything came from.
Would you argue you have to have society to maintain the way you're living right now then?
The way that
'Cause
we
if
have
it-
made
if
things
it-
now, yes.
Because someone
I feel
else,
like
like you
you-
said, you don't meet the maker.
Yeah.
Someone else has to make it, so you don't have to waste your time and spend your
I think it's
Time doing all that.
too decentralized to do it on your own.
yeah.
But that being said, I don't think I think people. If everything turned off today, I think half the population would die. I think the other I think half of the rest would die in a period of time, and I think that last quarter
Will be unkillable.
unkillable.
Well, that's
Especially with all
because
these
you
extra
don't-
bullets nobody else has.
Yeah, I think that those would be the. So like when the flood and so there's been a couple of times in biblical ideologies that God has started over, and I think those times are just it might be through divine things or whatever, but I think that's what happens. I think people survive those things, and then that's what flourishes the next. It's like a reset, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
America,
I think we're overdue, but you know,
I actually don't think so.
no.
Yeah, but it's like I said earlier, whereas he's looking at the picture like this, and they're talking about eating from
Can't hear
the
you.
tree. They're talking about eating from the tree. It had to happen, you know? But we don't understand why it had to happen. It had to happen, or we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I think
you
one
know?
of my beefs with it is that this
Like
dude that
something.
can totally snap the fingers and make it dark, make it light, can create life at the snap of a finger. I just don't see why he would make people to worship him. Yeah.
Unless he's
Is he-
self-obsessed
so-
like a lot of people.
Well, let's specify that. Is he creating you to worship him, or is he creating
That's
you
what the
with the
Bible says.
ability?
That's what the Bible says.
I don't know. I,
I mean, 'cause
literally have
ultimate-
not read it, so I
because
can't
ultimately
say
he's
it.
giving
Well, that's
you
what
the
people
choice,
say
right?
the Bible says.
He's giving you the choice, though,
Yeah.
because you
Right,
don't
but he
have
gave
to.
you the choice. And
He's
then
giving you a choice behind a
condemns
knife.
you if you didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So
he
in the
gave you a
end-
choice behind a knife.
Yeah, in the end, I just doubt that somebody that's gangster as fuck like that would make a bunch of people just to worship him.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if we're all in a race, we're racing motorcycles. If you guys let me win, it's not a win. You know, and if you're worshiping me just for what's after, you're not worshiping me.
You don't
Yeah.
really care about you. You care about what happens
Yeah.
to you.
And
yourself.
I'm an idiot, and God can create all this shit. And if an idiot can see that, you know, I want to deserve my win. And the best way I can do that is to let you do what you can. And so I can't help but ever since this person told me about worshiping false idols and false gods and how Satan can disguise himself in very clever ways, it just to me, being an outsider, not reading the books and all that stuff and not following and all that, on the outside it looks like these people may be falling victim to a false god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's some food for thought then.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Dude,
I have not read one page.
we can literally keep going on this for fucking hours. You know.
Hey, if we have not found a way to debunk it or prove it within the last couple thousand years, we ain't going to do it in one
Yeah,
episode of the podcast.
Worry
Yeah,
about
that's
your
for
own
sure.
happiness.
If I'm honest, if I had the thing that would debunk it, I wouldn't say it.
Nope.
I wouldn't tell anyone either.
Because I think it honestly brings the good out of most people. I think it brings the worst out of most people. But
You don't believe in hard truths?
I do, man. But say for example, if I'm not your real dad, but I know you're a real dad, and he was a complete piece of shit, maniacal motherfucker, used to burn your fingers. Do you need to know?
Who are you? Who are you to keep that from us?
Yeah.
I'm just somebody that's
There's
looking
no-
out
there-
for
oh,
his-
there's
He's
just-
also
exactly,
not telling
but-
you either. It's just
Yeah, but
not giving
It's like
you
you
the
feel like
information.
You-
you think that
Your guidance is best.
yeah.
No, I'm excluding my guidance.
No, that is your guidance with not telling him that you feel like he is better off with not knowing this information.
But is it because it's not coming from the right person?
It might. It's kind of like that death sentence thing. If I had the ability to get rid of it, I don't think I would.
But it also, with that, it could fall back on his dad to be the one to step up, not him to be the one to say, yeah, you have a dad. No, he needs to make it.
Obviously, if he isn't going to be the one to, then you should be.
Then why should it be fall on him to be the one to tell you?
Because he's the one that's the arbiter of truth.
That's a good point. Maybe that's an unfair example. Maybe the death sentence thing would be a better example. Just because I have the ability to get rid of it doesn't mean that I probably should.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end on that note. If you know somebody that got, get them.
If you do not, if this is the last podcast that's ever made, it's because we died on a miniature sailboat.
Fuck miners.
What?
What miner am I talking about?
A minor, B minor, coal miners, coal miners.
If I get a call from a police dude,
major league and a minor league baseball.
cop
What?
calls me, I'm sending him to your
Miners
house.
in college.
Dog, you just digging a big ass fucking hole right
He
now.
threw the shovel
Easy,
down.
yeah, easiest way to stop digging holes is drop the shovel, my boy. You better turn off your backhoe.
And then he turned on the fucking bobcat. Said this shovel ain't doing shit.
I told y'all that at the beginning.